What's up, folks? David Soto Jr. here, and this is the David Soto Jr. podcast. What's up, folks? Welcome to episode 19 of the David Soto Jr. podcast. I'm your host, David Soto Jr., and today it is a gorgeous morning in Boulder, Colorado, and I am in a parking lot. It's literally a 3-car parking lot. If you get here early enough, you get one of these parking spots outside of a cafe. Should I say the name? Let's say the name. Alpine Modern. I'm outside of Alpine Modern. And this is my spot when I know I'm going to do some internet downloading or uploading or what have you. And today I want to make a podcast so that it will be released and ready to go tomorrow. Because tomorrow's a big deal. Tomorrow, I'm not going to quite announce that just yet. But what's going on? I'm going to title this episode, How to Sell a Million Books, Part 2. And if you saw that episode or listened to that podcast, you know that I am documenting my process as I sell 1 million books. Now, I'm probably about 250 books. Actually, I have no idea how many I've sold over the years. But I'm guessing I'm nowhere near 1 million. So I'm not even close to like 100,000. And I have to do that 10 times, I think. Is that how math works? Anyways, so it's not an ideal spot. I don't know if you could hear that truck that just drove by. There's a car here. They went in to get coffee. They're going to walk by and slam the car door. But we got to do what we got to do. So, what is going on in my book selling process? Well, I wrote another book. Moncada is not completely finished, but it is available on Amazon right now as you listen to this. Now, it's in pre-order. I gave myself a deadline, and I thought, why not my birthday? So as I'm recording this right now, may the 4th be with you, by the way, June 10th is my birthday. I will turn 44. That's when Moncada will be released. By punching it into Kindle Direct Publishing, I got a deadline that my final manuscript draft has to be submitted June 6th. So I'm looking at 30 days that I have to be done. So currently I did 1 read-through, 2 read-throughs, 3 read-throughs. I couldn't do another one. So I just, after reading something 3 times, basically a book, reading a book 3 times, I just decided like it's over. This needs to go out, and I'm not going to touch this thing anymore until it comes back from the proofreader/editor. Now, I found a guy. He's a proofreader, and he also does some editing, and I found him at the gym, and I don't know if I've told this story, but he bought my book when it's at Boulder Bookstore, which it's at Boulder Bookstore now. He bought it at Boulder Bookstore and was reading it. He says, hey, I'm enjoying it. It's pretty good. I'm like, hey, let me know if you find any mistakes. Kind of joking around because I was very confident there weren't any. Oh, actually, I think I knew of one. I'm not sure. This may be a terrible place to record a podcast. I turned the gain down, so hopefully you don't hear all that stuff going on in the background, but I don't know. Something. And he goes, oh, well, I found a couple too. I'm like, you found a couple of oh, damn. Why don't you point those out to me, dude, and I'll fix them right away. I was like, no problem. I do it all the time. He's like, okay. And what ended up happening was he handed me my book that he bought from the bookstore back with pen and ink changes, like corrections in red and suggestions in blue, the entire book. And I'm like, thanks. And I flipped through it, and this thing is full of red and blue ink. And I did not expect him to do that, but basically he proofread and made some little editorial suggestions through my book, which had been published and had, like, I don't know, 6 reviews on it on Amazon. Anyways, so that's kind of embarrassing. But I decided that I would hire him for the second book, Marisol Rivera, the whore Marisol Rivera. You know what? Gabriel Garcia Marquez has stories of my melancholy horrors. I thought it would be okay if I had the word whore in my title. I think that's turning people off. But she's a prostitute, and prostitute's a long word. You can't put it on the cover. You got to put the whore. Anyways. Last year I published The Whore, Marisol Rivera. He proofread it for me. We had a set price, and it worked out. It worked out well. So now I'm to the point where I just sent him Moncada, and he will be proofreading it, making suggestions. He said it'll start this weekend. In the meantime, I am working on the Warrior Pierre. Now, if you didn't know, the Warrior Pierre is where Moncada came from. I wrote Moncada because it was supposed to be in the Warrior Pierre, but something told me to publish it on its own. Moncada is 25,000 words, which is the length of Los Chocolates de Esperanza de Diamante, almost exactly 25,000 words. So it's going to be a nice, decent size little novella, paperback. I'll be able to publish it in paperback and have the name on the spine, my name and the title on the spine. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. So when that comes back, I will read through it, make all the changes, the corrections. Hopefully there's a part of the book that has like a timeline. In fact, it's the chapter's entitled The Timeline, in where I give specific dates in order and facts. Dates and facts or events that take place. I kind of wanted to develop like a cadence, like somebody's reading a police blogger or something, on June 2nd, 1953, so-and-so, Brio and so-and-so formed the Montreal Pact and signed it. And anyways, so I don't want it to get a little boring, but I was building up this. I've tried to set this cadence and build up this tension that built up and culminated. It's one of those words I use. I don't know if it's right. Culminated into the failure of the July 26th attack. So I don't want to spoil any stories, but the attack failed. That's history. I can't change that. I'm not hiding that. I can't be like, surprise, it didn't work. Everybody should know that. Or I guess I don't know. It happened. If you didn't know, that's what happened. But I'm not hiding that. If you know anything about the Cuban Revolution, you know that already. Shit, I even read in the book. Well, I won't spoil it anymore for those of you who didn't do your history. So when that comes back, so here's the thing: it's available on pre-sale right now. If you're listening to this on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link below. If you're listening to this, just go to Amazon and Google my name, David Soto Jr., or Google Moncada, Moncada, and you'll see it there. Pre-order. Now, why should you pre-order? Oh, because I don't know. I'm not sure why pre-order is a big deal. Because the book starts ranking right away. I thought pre-order was like on the day of the release, boom, all those sales come through and you jump up on the ranks, immediately. But it doesn't happen that way. So the benefits of pre-order is, I don't know. Oh, the benefits of pre-order is that people have, on the day of release, right, on the launch day, you have people who have ordered the book who can leave reviews. Now, how can you leave a review if you haven't ordered the book? And that's the benefit to you for pre-ordering. If you pre-order the book, it's $2.99. Give me a fucking break. You know how much a cup of coffee costs at this place? $4. Um, if you pre-order the book, when I get when I finalize the manuscript, when it comes back from my man Lee, who's going to do my editing, when it comes back from him, and I read through it and I accept all his changes and all the commas and shit that I left out or put in, I don't know what I'm doing. When all that's done, I will format it for Kindle, for an ebook and PDF and all that stuff, and I'll upload it to this application, web app that I use called BookFunnel. And what I'll do, if you pre-ordered, all you have to do is let me know. Pre-ordered. Now you gotta wait till it's ready. So you gotta be paying attention to me, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram or on here. But when I say that when it's ready, if you contact me and say, hey, I pre-ordered your book, then I will send you a link to download the book. You won't have to wait till June 10th. You'll get it sooner. Maybe, I don't know how soon, but you'll get it sooner. And so on the day that it's released, or not even that, if you read it, if you like it, you can go to Amazon and leave a review, and it will be a verified review. So even though it's before the release date, I hope that's how it works. Even though it's before the release date, or maybe you can't even leave reviews until the release date. Either way, come June 10th, you log on Amazon and say, I love this book. I learned something, and it was humorous, and I love the story of Pierre, and blah, 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 and it was great. And I can wish David continued success. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and just use that. You don't have to think of your own. Just use what I said right now. Rewind the shit. All right? So that's the benefit, is that it will, hopefully the day it's released, June 10th, on my 44th birthday. You know how sometimes I got to remember how old I am? And the irony is, I wrote in one of the stories about Pierre, not the ones you're gonna read, not yet, that he doesn't even keep track of how old he is. Because he forgot or something. So I feel like I'm like, am I 40? Am I going to be 44 or 43? 40, I got to count. Anyways. So that is the process. That's where I'm at. I can't believe that. Somebody asked me, when did I start writing this? I actually have my computer here. Let me see if it's dated. Boom. No. Oh, stupid. November 5th. That's when I started writing The Warrior Pierre. This one. Created. Shit. That can't be right. How could I have started writing this in November? There's no way. According to all of this, I started writing it in November. Oh, I did. So I started writing this in November, but I didn't get to... Man, it took a long time. November, December. I wrote all these other stories. Well, let's just say I started in November then, and I'm just realized that I spent a long time looking at this computer and not actually paying attention to what that I'm being recorded. Anyways, I apologize for that. So this is what I started writing, but I started writing this entire book. I thought it was going to be a nice, 350-page novel. And I ended up writing this one story and just like loving it, feeling so good about it that I wanted to publish it on its own. And I really feel confident that what I'm going to end up is with... So I have enough I have to finish the other. I have to start and finish an entire story that takes place in Mexico before he goes to Cuba and the Moncada thing. So I have to. One thing that I've implemented is that Pierre has taken he's given up violence. What is it? A vow of nonviolence. He's relented. I don't know, but he doesn't kill anymore. So in Cuba, he doesn't kill anymore, and he's given that up. And I not sure why I gave him that I made that happen, but the thing is I need a reason why he gave that up. That's going to happen in Mexico. I don't know what the story is there, but that's the final story that I have to write for the fourth book to come out. Also, I have to finish. I have an Africa Part 1. Now I have to write Africa Part 2, because if you read Los Chocolates de Esperanza Diamante, you know that he enters that story coming straight out of Africa. So I have to write those. So I like 2 stories pretty much I have to write to finish the Warrior Pierre. The cool thing about the Warrior Pierre is the book cover's done, and that'll be the 4th book in a series, and I think I'll be done. I don't know. Also, I have my memoir practically done. Sometimes my stories come to me, but when I try to write in my memoir, I don't feel it. I don't have any energy for it, which means I think it's done. Like that's gonna have to work. It's like I think it's like 40,000 words, so it's gonna be one of the biggest books I've ever published. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with my book publishing career. Blah blah blah. Somebody asked me how am I surviving. I'm like, off savings. I did have a job interview yesterday, but I don't want to keep falling. I don't know. I don't want to keep falling back in my building trades experience. So, and it's a day like this reminds me that I don't want to work this summer. I want to be out fishing and stuff. So, this job offer is gonna have to be pretty good for me to say no thanks, or for me to say sure. I'll no thanks to my summer, right? Okay, one last thing I want to do before I wrap this up is I want to read the summary for Moncada, and so that you get an idea of what it's going to be like. Although I kind of told you, I don't know. So here it is. On December 2nd, 1956. On December 2nd, 1956, a yacht named the Granma, carrying Fidel Castro, Raul Castro, Che Guevara, and 79 other comrades, landed in Playa Las Coloradas, Oriente Providence, Cuba. 2 years later, having successfully... Oh, I got a misspelling here. Boom, fixed. Having successfully overthrown Batista, these men would march into the country's capital and claim it in the name of the revolution. Most people would assume that the landing of the Granma marks the beginning of the revolution, but the name of Fidel Castro's organization, El Movimiento 26 de Julio, is enough to disprove this. On July 26, 1953, Fidel led a group of over 120 rebels in an attack on the Moncada military barracks in Santiago de Cuba. Run out of breath there. Even though the attack was a complete and utter failure, it elevated the 26-year-old Fidel Castro to international fame as a political leader and, of course, the eventual president of Cuba, a position he held until he retired at the age of 82. But this is not a story of Fidel Castro. This is a story of our beloved Pierre Bernal de los Campos, who was there in the middle of the July 26th attack. After renouncing violence, Pierre finds himself in Cuba, where he continues to partake in other vices, namely drinking. Almost by accident, Pierre picks up a job as a bouncer at a dingy bar in Havana. In there, he meets Adela Corazon, the sister of Joel Santamaria, a member of Fidel's command staff for the movement. Joel learns of Pierre's history as a soldier and finds that his experience could be of use. After a personal request from Fidel, Pierre agrees to train the rebels, but only as long as he is not required to take part in the fighting. As the tension of the pending attack builds, Pierre's mantra is, "This is none of my concern." But it becomes his concern when Adela, who has a personal vendetta against Batista's regime, can't help but get involved in the attack in the Moncada barracks. Boom, son! That sounds pretty good. That's interesting. I like to read this book. And I have 4 fucking times. Jiminy Christmas. Anyways, folks, that's it. I appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, if you pre-order when the book is ready before June 10th, I will, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, mensaje de texto, or if, Facebook. Anyway, have a way for me to send you the link, and I will send you the book when it's ready. It's not even in my possession right now. It's in somebody else's possession. But when it's ready, that way you can read it. Tell me what you think. Leave a feedback on Amazon. Folks, I am selling 1 million books, and this takes help, and I need your help. I need your reviews. I mean, even if it's not a 5-star, it doesn't have to be 5-star. The best review I've ever gotten was from my stepmother. It was a 4-star review because it was honest, right? It was honest. And I read a 1-star review for a book called Shop Girl by Steve Martin, and it talked about how how much sex was in it and blah 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 and all this stuff. And I wanted to read it, not because I was horny and want to read a book that has sex in it, because I wanted to know how to write sex scenes, right? So even negative reviews can cause people to buy books, and I'm trying to sell 1 million of them. All right, so not only I need to buy my book in order to help me sell 1 million books, but I need your help in marketing it, and that's going to come from reviews as your part to help me out. And hopefully you left reviews on our other books too. If not, Moncada, we're going to focus on Moncada. Oh, damn, son, I almost forgot. Shit. I was about to end this broadcast without the other thing I was going to talk about. The other thing is, the whore Marisol Rivera, the Kindle version is free right now. If you're listening to this on Saturday, Cinco de Mayo, it's my Cinco de Mayo promotion, yo. Cinco de Mayo. If you're listening to this, Marisol Rivera is free for Cinco de Mayo. I set it up on Amazon, so it's free for the entire day of Cinco de Mayo. And you can download it if you haven't already downloaded it or bought it or read it. It's been out since last year. So, people who pay for it, they got the advantage of, I think it was like, it's like $1.99, because it's only 18,000 words. I thought, why not just put it at $1.99? I might raise that though. But Marisol Rivera, the whore Marisol Rivera, is free. So if you go to Amazon to buy Moncada, pre-order Moncada, when you do that, go over to Marisol Rivera and download that shit for free, son. It's free. It's gratis. If for some reason, I think I've sold 2 paperbacks of Marisol Rivera, but if for some reason you bought the paperback and read it, then go ahead and download the Kindle version for free. I don't know what significance that makes, but download, get your free version of Marisol Rivera if you haven't read it, and then read it and let me know what you think. It's a cool story. It's not very it's not naughty, it's not full of sex. It's the story of a virgin prostitute. So there's kind of a little bit of magical realism in it. And how is she a virgin and a prostitute? Well, you got to find out, for fuck's sake. Anyways, now I'm ready to end it. So don't forget, pre-order. If you're listening to this and it is May, if you're listening to this and it's before June 10th, 2018, you can pre-order my book and I'll send you a copy. You won't have to wait till June 10th. And also, if you're listening to this on the day of release, Marisol Rivera is free on Amazon. Go to Amazon and look up Marisol Rivera, the whore Marisol Rivera. I'm sorry I use that word. I need to work on titling my books better. The whore Marisol Rivera. Download that book for free and then pre-order Moncada. And one more thing. Look how I didn't know what I'm going to talk about. I got to make a podcast in the morning. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to make. I thought it was going to be short. Anyways, the reason for this is an advantage to me. Of course, again, is like if you download Marisol Rivera for free and then pre-order Moncada, eventually it will show up as also bots. People who bought Marisol Rivera also bought the Moncada, and vice versa, right? This is important. And so when people search for my book, they see one and they scroll down and they see the other ones. Hopefully they see that the titles or the book covers look similar, and then they realize that it's a series, right? Because the label is the series is entitled Pierre Bernal de los Campos. There's book 1, it's Los Chocolates de Esperanza Diamante. There's book 2, that is The Whore Marisol Rivera, and Moncada is book 3. The Warrior Pierre will be book 4. So that's, I think, I don't know what I'm doing, folks. That's why I'm documenting this so you can see how cool it is. Look at it. He didn't know what he's doing, and he sold 1 million books. But by giving away Marisol Rivera and launching the pre-sale on the same date, hopefully people will get a free book and do the pre-order, and then those books will be linked together and also bots. As much books as I want to sell many books. Right now, I'm really particular about people. Not particular, I guess. I really want people who have bought one of my books to buy the other one, because it will show up in the also bots. That's important. I think. I don't know. What's going on? Anyways, folks, reach out to me at David E. Soto Jr. Just a Jr. You don't have to spell Junior. You just Jr. David E. Soto Jr. on Twitter, on Instagram, and my website is davidsotowrites.com. I probably will be publishing a story that I wrote, that I submitted a contest and didn't win. Just found out this morning I didn't win. Now I gotta read this other fucker's story and see how good it is, because my shit was good, son. I didn't mess around with a writing prompt. I think I really hooked it up. So go to davidsotowrites.com. I'll have that up eventually. You can read that story that I wrote. It just took me a couple of days to write, based on a writing prompt that I got. I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, folks, this is a long-winded. I thought it was going to be short, like 12 minutes. And here I am going into 28 minutes as of right now. Peace out, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you.